Hello and welcome to this yoga class with me, Jess. My information should be in the caption, so my Instagram or my website if you need to know more about me or have any questions. And if you are completely new to yoga and this is your first class with me or with anyone, then I do have an introduction to yoga video on the Sports Centre's YouTube channel. So I think if you just scroll down, it's just 5 minutes where I talk about what yoga is and also how you can make the class work best for you, which is a very important thing for my yoga classes. Other things to note, house rules that we're reading right now. I am wearing one single ankle weight and I have a cushion, and that's because, as many you will know if you've watched any of my other classes, I have an injury that I'm recovering from, so that's why I've got one ankle weight on. And sometimes I'll do things in a slightly strange way and in a way that I don't want you to do them. I'll always make it very clear when that's the case. I'll be very specific that I'm doing something with this leg that I don't want you to copy. Okay. Now all that's done, you're going to settle down onto your mat and or in your space in an upright seated position. Closing your eyes. Just use your closed eyes here to just feel how you're sitting. Now, cross-legged might not work for you, and that's absolutely fine. There's nothing odd about that. You can either prop yourself up if the issue is with the hips, put something underneath your knees, or you can sit on your heels, or you can even just stretch your legs out in front of you. Because you are looking for the point where you can press the weight down evenly between your sit bones and sit upright, but neutrally. So you're not squeezing yourself upright. Make sure that there's no tension in the shoulders and that you've relaxed the belly as well. Just let that drop down. And when we say a neutral spine, we mean that we're not trying to get rid of the natural curve that sits in the lower back. You don't need to try and yank that out. Sit upright in a sense that leaves you alert but soft. There's some relaxation here. You're breathing through your nose if you can. Doesn't matter if you can't. The important thing is that you're starting to steady your breath, smooth it out. Make it nice and even where the inhale matches the exhale. The book that I am using for class this week is an essay, I think. We'll call it an essay. What it is really is an adapted commencement speech that the author gave to her alma mater, Sarah Lawrence, about 20 years ago, I think. It's called What Now, and it's by Anne Patchett. And I think that the content of the speech can be distilled down into the idea that is very important to people that practice yoga, which is that you must never stop learning. You must never let yourself fall into an attitude where you're done, you're finished, there's no further you can go, there's no more you can know. No one can teach you any more than you already know, that you are the absolute authority on something. You probably don't need me to tell you that that is a dangerous supposition to hold. Even the most experienced, most elevated, long-lived yoga teachers, they will often describe themselves as a student first and a teacher second. Because too much certitude can close us off to what life continually has to offer us. And that is what Patchett seems to be saying in this essay, in this speech she gave. That it was the twists and turns that her life gave her and the fact that she stayed open to them and what they could provide her with, that has made her journey the beautiful, exciting, joyful one that it was. I hadn't planned on winding up as a waitress, but the truth is there was a lot about the job I liked, even if I didn't think I'd do it forever. I spent my days with good people who were hardworking and resilient. They took their tough times in stride and managed to dream big dreams in between the salads and desserts. I laughed an awful lot in those days, and I felt proud of the money I folded into my pocket at night. It took me a long time of pulling racks of scorching hot glasses out of the dishwasher, the clouds of steam rising, smoothing everything around me into a perfect field of grey, to understand that writing a novel and living a life are very much the same thing. The secret is finding the balance between going out to get what you want and being open to the thing that actually winds up coming your way. What now is not just a panic-stricken question tossed into the dark unknown. What now can also be our joy. It is a declaration of possibility, of promise, of chance. It acknowledges that our future is open, that we may well do more than anyone expected of us, that at every point in our development, we are still striving to grow. I'm just going to have 3 more breaths sitting here. And then when you're ready, inhaling, blinking your eyes open, you're going to bring yourself down to lie on your front. So if you've got your legs crossed, you might just rock over the crossed ankles, or you can swing your legs around. Whoop. Hands underneath your shoulders for now. Feet down, tops of the feet down. Now you can do this with your chest down, with even your chin down if you like. Often people find that they prefer to have their chest up here. You can try both and just see which one you prefer. On your next inhalation, you're just going to pull in your left foot, reach back with your left hand, and gently start to squeeze the left heel towards your seat. Keep up a sustainable pressure. You want to constantly feel that lengthening sensation in the quad. So try not to let up on it, unless of course it's hurting, in which case let up on it. Last breath here. Next exhalation, gently let go of that foot, let it come back down. Inhale straight into the other side, pulling in the right foot, reaching back with your right hand. Squeeze the heel towards the seat. Two more breaths here. And exhale, let that foot come down. Hands underneath the shoulders now, just let your chin drop. Inhale, roll yourself up into a little cobra. It's not very high. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, peel yourself up. There's very little weight in the hands. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, peel yourself up. Hold yourself here. Your cobra, your bhujangasana. Really no weight in those hands. You should be able to lift them up without your chest dropping down. And that's because we are holding ourselves in our lower back. Another breath here. Keep those shoulders back away from the ears. On your next inhalation, slide your hands back. Palms are facing in towards each other. They're about parallel to the mat. And on your next inhalation, lift both your legs up as well if you can. See if you can squeeze your chest a little bit higher. This is your locust. 2 more breaths. 1 more. And exhale, gently lower yourself back down. Hands back underneath those shoulders. Inhale, push yourself up into all fours. You might need to adjust slightly. Bring the knees in a little bit more. You want your knees to be underneath your hips, your wrists to be underneath your shoulders. On your next inhalation, reach your right arm forwards and your left leg back. Just take a few breaths here to feel that you are lifting up in the belly. So you're not kind of, you can't really see with my jumper, but you're not letting everything sag down. You're trying to press up into the spine. 1 more breath here. Next exhalation, you're going to take that right elbow to the left knee, squeeze them underneath you. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, squeeze them in. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, squeeze them in. Inhale, reach out, and as you exhale now, bend that lifted leg and reach your right hand around and see if you can reach the left foot. Do not worry if it takes a moment of trying to grab the foot. When you've got it, push it up and back as much as you can behind you. Just one more breath here. Next exhalation, gently knee down, hand down. Inhale, left arm forwards, right leg up and back. Let's take that moment again here to make sure that you're lifting your belly button up towards your spine. Your back is flat and long, like a table. And next exhalation, it's left elbow to right knee. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, reach out. Another one of those. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, bend that right leg. You're sweeping around with the left hand. See if you can grab the foot. And when you're ready, push the foot up and back. 2 more breaths. Next exhalation, gently knee down, hand down. Inhale, tuck those toes. And exhale, lift up and back into a downward facing dog. This is your Adho Mukha Svanasana. You want to spread your fingers so that each joint of each finger feels like it's firmly pressing into the mat. And then you're using that pressure to send the chest back in the direction of the feet and feel how that lengthens the whole back. The sit bones tipping up and back, the heels gently pressing down towards the mat. The gaze is back towards the feet or the knees, so the back of the neck is long. One more breath here. And inhale, walk your feet towards your hands. Leave them about hip width apart and exhale in a forward fold, an Uttanasana. So let the head go and let the arms go. Bring the weight into the balls of the feet, make the heels feel light. Make sure you're not trying to hold that head up. 2 more breaths. You don't have to have straight legs. They can be bent. And on your next inhalation, roll yourself upright. Take your time. Shoulders rolling back at the top there, gaze lifting. And if you're not already, you come to the front of your mats with your feet together. Your legs are going to be straight for when it makes sense to have them straight for this. Mine are going to be slightly bent. Inhale, straighten up. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, lift to those fingertips or higher. Exhale, step the right foot back and then the left. Drop your knees, your chest and your chin. Inhale, drop the belly down. You're lifting into one of those cobras. Exhale, making your way back, downward dog. Inhale, bend the knees, look forwards. Right foot is stepping in, then the left. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, sweeping all the way up. Reach the arms up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, left foot is stepping back, then the right. Drop the knees, the chest, the chin. Inhale, cobra, bhujangasana, not too high. Exhale, up and back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, bend the knees, look forwards. Left foot's going to step in, then the right. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, sweeping up. Exhale, hands down. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, step your feet back. If you're familiar with it, you can lower through chaturanga. Otherwise, it's knees, chest, chin. Inhaling, you can either do an upward facing dog if you're familiar with it, or cobra. And exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. 3 breaths here. One more breath. Next inhalation, bend those knees, look forwards, get your feet towards your hands. Exhale as you fold. And inhale, sweeping your way up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, get those feet back. Lower yourself down, either way, it's up to you. Inhaling your back bends. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, step the foot through in between your hands, leave your left leg straight, and inhale, reaching your arms up. So your left leg is going to be straighter than mine. Push through that left heel, bend into that right leg, reach high. Have another breath here. One more. And on your next exhalation, you're going to gently lower that left knee almost to the mat. Inhale, straighten it up. Exhale, almost down. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, lower it down, hover it, and then let it go onto the mat. Untuck those back toes. As you inhale, reach up even higher than you were. Hips sinking further forwards towards that front heel. Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. You've got one more breath here. Inhale, straighten up your front leg. So the right leg straightens, the right toes pull up, the hips are square. Exhale, reaching your way forwards. Now maybe the hands come to the hips. Maybe they drop to the mat or to your props if you're using them. What we want to avoid is feeling very kind of curled over and hunched over in the leg so we can't breathe. It's more important that we keep the back long and straight than that we come low close to the leg. Two more breaths here. As you next exhale, you're going to walk your hands around towards your left. So start to swing your right toes down onto the mat and swing your left ankle behind you. You'll probably need to press into the mat to lift the left knee slightly, because otherwise the skin twists quite a lot. When you're ready, you're going to be horizontal on your mat. Left knee down, right leg stretched away. You can put some padding underneath that left knee. Frida is going to go under mine. When you're ready, arms are going to be out. Next exhalation, you'll drop your right hand on your right leg. Inhale that left arm up and over, breathing down the side of the body. Have one more breath here. Inhale, lifting yourselves up. You've got to use your obliques to do that. Exhale, drop the left hand down. Inhale the right arm over. This one should feel like there's much more space on this side, not so pinched. Last breath. Again, you've got to engage those obliques, that core. Lift yourselves up on an inhale. Exhale, palms together. Turn the right toes slightly forwards. Not all the way forwards, just slightly forwards. The foot is still flat. And on your next exhalation, you're going to bend as deeply into that right leg as you can. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Hold it here in this bend. Just try to notice that you are keeping your back upright again, that you're not pushing your hips back. You want to keep the tailbone pointing straight down. Bending as much into that right leg and out of the left as you can, and it might not be very far. You can see with me, it's quite tricky opening the hips here. One more breath. Inhale, straighten up the front leg, and as you do that, swing the gaze towards the front. You're going to swing those left toes behind you, slide the right foot back, stepping your way into your downward dog. Have a breath there. We're ready for you to inhale the left leg up. Exhale, swing that foot through, strong straight right leg. Inhale, lifting up into your lunge, reaching high, push through that right heel. Keep the breath steady. One more breath here. Next exhalation, almost lower the right knee down, but not quite. Inhale, straighten it up. Exhale, almost down. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, almost down. Hover for a split second, then let it go. Untuck those back toes. The hips keep sinking further forwards as you reach higher up in your Anjaneyasana, in your crescent lunge. One more breath. Inhale, straighten up that left leg. Left toes gently pull up, hips are square, reaching forwards. Maybe the hands swing to the hips. Maybe they drop to the mat. Maybe they drop to your props. I talk about props in the introduction video and how if you don't have proper yoga props, it's not really a thing, then there are lots of things around the house that you can use. keeping the chest long. So you're trying to stretch through the crown of the head as you press your seat back. 2 more breaths here. So on that next exhalation, hands are going to walk around towards the right, the left toes swing in. You swing the right heel behind you. You maybe press into the mat to lift the knee slightly, because as I said, the skin of the knee can get a bit twisted when you do that. And when you're ready, you're coming up with your left leg straight, pushing into that foot. Arms are reaching out. And exhale, left hand on left leg. Inhale the right arm up and over even. Keeping the shoulder open, which means keeping the chest open. 1 more breath here. Inhale yourself into the center. Exhale, the right hand's dropping down. Inhale that left arm up and over. Breathing into the side of the body, 1 more breath. Engage all the muscles. Inhale, lift yourselves up. Exhale, palms together, left toes slightly forwards. Inhale. Ready on an exhale to soften into that left leg. Inhale, straighten up. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend and hold it here. 3 breaths, remembering to keep that tailbone tucking down. Spine long, breath steady. 1 more. Inhale, straighten up that front leg. As you swing your gaze, your hands towards the front foot, right foot steps behind, and you're sliding yourself back into your downward dog. Inhale, bend the knees, look towards your hands. Stepping those feet in. Exhale as you fold, and inhale, sweeping all the way up. Exhale, hands down. Good. Okay, I'm going to stay facing this way so that you can see more clearly what I'm doing. But you're going to separate your feet slightly. If they were together, just separate them out so that you've now got your feet hip width apart. We're going to do some standing balances, but we're going to move on our leg. So find somewhere to look at that isn't moving. So it can be something on a wall in front of you. You can look down, but try not to look straight down. Look a little bit further ahead. That you can just softly focus your eyes on and keep the breath steady, and that helps us balance. Let's start on our left leg. Let's start on my weak one. So you're just going to shift your weight into your left leg, and on an inhale, pull that right knee up towards you. Now you're either taking your right hand to your right knee, or you're taking your right hand to your right big toe. If you're holding the toe on your next inhalation, push it away from you. The leg does not need to be straight. Everybody is standing as upright as they can. If you're holding your knee, really try and get the chest and the thigh close together so there's not a lot of gap there. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. Get there in the end. 1 more breath. Very wobbly on this side. Now on your next exhalation, let go of your leg or your knee. Extend your leg out if it was bent. And if you've got the space as you exhale, you're going to carry that leg around to the side, all the way around to the back. As you come around to the back, start to square the hips. So the right side of the hip is coming level with the left. You can have your hands on your hips for balance. And you're trying to bring your chest about parallel to the floor, to the mat, and your right leg about parallel to the floor or the mat. 1 more breath here. And as you exhale, bend that standing leg so you can softly step the right toes back into a lunge. Have a breath. And you're going to push off that back leg again. Inhale, push off the toes. Swing the right leg all the way around. Left leg is bent. I'll turn to face you now. Right leg is crossing over the left. Squeeze the thighs together. See if your right toes will tuck behind. They may well not. That is okay. They can hover alongside. They can tap on the mat. But keeping our standing leg bent is pretty key here. Very helpful. If you would rather bring your palms together in front of your chest, go ahead, or you can keep them on your hips. Garudasana version in the legs, eagle. Last breath. As you exhale, you're going to slide that right foot now down to the mat. So the ball of the right foot, the toes is pressing on the mat, and you are going to turn 360 degrees. Don't overthink it. Turn towards your left. Woo! And now your left leg is crossed in front of your right. And when you feel ready, you might need to readjust yourself on the mat. Pick up that left leg so that you can cross it even more tightly. Bend your right leg. Toes are maybe hooking behind. Maybe they're hovering alongside. Maybe you want to bring the hands in the prayer, or maybe they stayed there the whole time. For your Garudasana version, your eagle variation. 2 more breaths here. Inhale, gently release that left leg. Step it all the way back into a lunge with care. Inhale, you can do all of this with palms here or here. Ready, next inhalation, push back off that left leg. You're coming into a warrior 3. That's where the chest and the leg are around about parallel with the mat. Keep that left hip level with the right. Have another breath here. And if you've got the space, you're going to start to lift that left leg out to the side to carry it around to the front. If you don't have the space, swing the leg through like a pendulum. Woo! And then you're either pulling the knee up towards you, or you're reaching for the left toe and extending the leg away. 2 more breaths. Good. Next exhalation, let go of that leg, knee or foot, drop it down, and just give both legs a little bit of a shake out so you can bob from one ankle to the other. You might need to stretch your arches, so press into the balls of the foot, or you might need to stretch your calves. And then back to the fronts of your mats if you weren't already there. Last vinyasa, inhale, stretch up. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, get those feet back, lower yourselves down. Inhaling in your back bend. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale there. Exhale, drop your knees. Either cross your ankles behind you and push back, or swing your legs around. It's up to you until your legs are out in front of you. Just stretch them away in front of you, sitting tall. And on an exhalation, you're going to fold forwards for 5 breaths. Paschimottanasana. Seated forward fold. Do not worry how close the body is to the legs. Do not worry about the hands on the feet. Just keep the chest long. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Last breath here. Inhale, sitting yourself upright. And we're just going to get 1 or 2 minutes of shavasana here at the end. That's just resting, lying on your back. So when you're ready, you're going to roll yourself to lie down on your back. If it's not comfortable for you to lie flat on your back, and that's often the case, often because of the lower back, bend your feet in. Maybe you rest your hands on your belly. Maybe you leave them on the mat, palm up. Do whatever works for you. Get into as comfortable a position as is possible for you. And then let everything go. Let all your effort go. Let your breath fall into a natural rhythm. Take your rest here. Even if you have it all together, you can't know where you're going to end up. There are too many forces as deep and invisible as tides that keep us bouncing into places where we never thought we'd wind up. Sometimes the best we can hope for is to be graceful and brave in the face of all the changes that will surely come. It also helps to have a sense of humor about your own fate, to not think that you alone are blessed when good fortune comes your way, or cursed when it passes you by. It helps if you can realize that this part of life, when you don't know what's coming next, is often the part that people look back on with the greatest affection. Start to take some deeper breaths. Imagine that the inhale fills the whole body, and in the wake of the exhale leaves awareness there. Bring some movement into the fingers and the toes, rolling onto your right hand side when you're ready, just to take a beat there. Moving slowly, trying to keep your eyes closed or your gaze soft. You're going to push yourself upright and make your way back into a Sukhasana, into that easy seated pose that we started in. Whatever that looks like for you, as long as you've got the weight evenly distributed between those sit bones. The spine is long but neutral, the shoulders relaxed, the neck long, the belly soft. The breath is natural and even. The idea that everything is a learning opportunity can sometimes seem a little tiring, I think, especially in the context of a yoga class where I might say specifically, if you're trying to balance on one leg and you wobble and you fall over, that's your body learning. It's just learning to be stronger, it's learning to be steadier, but it feels frustrating and it feels tiring and it feels like you have to always be on. And that's where the joy comes in, that I spoke about at the beginning of the class and that was also in the quotation that I read at the beginning of the class. It's a joy and a privilege to be learning in whatever way it comes to us. If we hold on to that joy, then it elevates the whole experience and we gain more and we learn more. I'll leave you with the last quotation for the class from What Now by Anne Patchett. Just because things hadn't gone the way I had planned didn't necessarily mean they had gone wrong. Blinking your eyes open when you're ready, if they're not already. Thank you so much for doing this little class with me. I hope that you will do other classes with me in the future, or that you do some of the other ones that are on the channel. As I said at the beginning, there should be some kind of contact information for me in the caption, so please get in touch if you have any questions, or you can always ask the Sports Centre. They can get messages to me as well. And I hope to see you on the mat in another one of these classes soon.